What's up, Gym Nation? Welcome back to our live. Apologize for the delay, but I couldn't fake it. So, welcome as we talk about the things we really should have learned in fifth grade, but instead they were teaching us stuff we didn't ever need to use again. So, tonight we're going to talk about finances and one of the key lessons that I just want everyone to hone in on and really try to implement. Of course, things are difficult for many now who are displaced from jobs, who are financially struggling. But the truth is the truth is the truth, and the strategy really is unchanged. We're not going to be here long. I have a class actually at 8 o'clock, but I also don't think this needs to be a long video. So, anyone who watches on the back end, like once this post, go ahead, fast forward through it so you can get through it really quick. But I learned very young. First, let me introduce myself. What's up, everyone? I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. And on this channel in 2026, it's all about action. It's all about living boldly. And it's all about stepping outside of our comfort zone. We don't have time for fear. We don't have time for embarrassment. We don't have time for shame. My motto for 2026 is bold is the baseline. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. This is not about trying to impress. It's about trying to um, not just survive, but thrive as much as we can, as best as we can. And so, with that being said, one of the lessons that I learned over my extensive career in both sales, marketing, and dealing with some conversations with some powerful people, starting from the age 17 when I worked at a brokerage company before leaving to go to the illustrious Howard University, um, was that every dollar that you make has a job. Every dollar that you produce has a job to go out and produce more, right? The money you make is not to, well, smart people understand. I shouldn't even say smart people because you could be smart and not understand this. If y'all don't know, I'm also a student of the four agreements. And one of the agreements of the four is being impeccable with your word, right? And so when I stop and I change something, it's because I live by these principles. And so, not saying that people who don't know this aren't smart, they just haven't been fed the information. So when you think about things like the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? That book was designed to catch people up to speed on the things that they knew that just wasn't taught to us, that wasn't, um, passed down to our culture. And one of the most basic principles is that money that is made and or generated has each single dollar, heck, if you want to break it down to cents, right? Each single dollar has a job to go out and reproduce. Now, we do understand that for most of us, we don't even know where to begin or how to begin, right? With that, we hear, put it in the bank or put it in a Christmas savings club, or you put it, up for retirement, not necessarily even like the stock market, right? Some people have learned the value of buying homes, but what it simply means is that your money should only go towards things that will appreciate versus depreciate. There is someone that I used to follow many years ago, and his name is George Fraser. And I see some lights popping, so I'll say hi to y'all in a second if I'm not, because I'll get distracted by the chat, but I do see when chats come through, so I'm gonna tap into y'all in a minute. But George Fraser, and there's this video that goes around. I don't know if it's viral. It may be viral for me because of the type of information it's about. I'd rather have a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than to have a $5,000 bag with $100 in it. I'm gonna just let y'all let that sink in, right? I'm gonna let y'all let that sink in. We have been conditioned to think that it's things over everything without doing the homework. Now, I'm not saying that all things are bad because there are certain bags that will appreciate. Well, let's hope they still appreciate because they have really come out trying to go hard against the value of these bags and people paying, so much for these bags. I was someone, I invested in a couple of bags, one brand in particular. I'm not going to shout them out. And I have been doing my research to make sure that they're right now still holding value. And saying all that to say, we have been conditioned just the other way. It's better for us to show that we made $5,000, right? Enough to buy that $5,000 bag than to have a cheap behind bag, but have $5,000 in the bank. You know, having a $5,000 bag and you only got $100 in it and nothing in the bank is less than, it's not equal to having a $100 bag, plastic bag with $5,000 in the bank. And that's just like basic information. But as someone who started this channel talking about finance and money to help this community back in 2021 or 2020, 2021, we kind of gotten away from that with all of the mess and the madness and the chaos and all the things. But it is one of my favorite times of the year. It is, even though this week has been kind of heavy for me, but it's financial literacy month, right? Financial awareness month, some people call it, but it's a great time to reset. It's a great time to sit back and reevaluate the moves that you are making. And as someone who's a trader as well, which I don't talk about it a lot now because if you don't have your mindset down with trading, I don't even want you trading, right? I really don't. It's like going to the casino. If you don't know how to control this right here, with many things, right? It's all about your mindset. And I have seen many people that have been in community with me, or I've been in community with, lose a lot because of their addiction. I can't really cover that up, but there's an addictive behavior that kind of comes with trading. And if you don't know how to control that, then you can definitely get hit hard, right? Just like going to the casino, right? If you don't know how to control that, like listen, I used to be that girl. I go in with 100. First, it started with 20. I lose $20, I'm out of there. Catch me at the buffet. Catch me at a play. But now I am, I'll take $100. Every year my cousins and we go to Atlantic City for a cousins meetup. And I have one cousin, he is the big daddy Don Dada. He is going to take his G's out. He's gonna be at the table, he's gonna be at the machines, but he has that, some people just have it where the odds are in their favor and they walk out winners more often than they walk out losers. I'm the one, I don't know if I'll ever get to that part because once I'm down $100, $200, your girl is like, okay, this is not for me. Let me go, find the arcade or something. But again, that's just me because I know that it's luck, right? It's not anything I can usually do to make that card turn over and for me to have blackjack, right? I can count cards and figure out the odds, but at the end of the day, there is nothing in my power that I can do to make that $100 flip to 1,000. But and however, through knowing what investments are smart investments, I have more control. And so, what we should have been learning in elementary school, starting in elementary school, all the way up, is basically how to put our dollars out there as real soldiers and have them design it so that they come back, you know, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 100% greater than when they left out, right? And so there was something else I was going to say. I just lost my train of thought. So back to the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Regardless of what you think about Homeboy who wrote the book, and I'm not even going to get into that, but that book was something that I was told I should have read, not unfortunately not by, my parents because they didn't know, but by me working in at a brokerage firm when I was 17, at the Commodities Futures Trading Commission when I was in college in DC. Um, Also, then being in an industry sales where numbers and me dealing with big banks like these Fortune 100 companies, and learning from the wealthy people who existed in those buildings, smarter moves to make. Now, I'm not going to even sit here and lie and say that all of the moves that I made were smart moves. I can't even do that, because I had a pattern before I got introduced to this way of living. But I will say that I learned a lot of lessons that I just did not, take heed to. And so the lessons that I learned at 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 have held up. That's the jewel right there, or the gym, right? Gym Nation or the gym. Um, and they've held up even before they've been pretty much standard since way before I was even on this earth. And so this is something that I want us to focus on, making sure that every dollar, well, that's the first thing, right? Making sure that every dollar that we generate brings back some type of return. They're out there working for you. They are your workers, right? Pay your bills, yes, but that's what they say. Your bill should never be more than like 30%, 35% of your income. So if you got 70% of your income, just your standard income, we're not even talking about discretionary income yet, but your standard income out there generating or working for you, then what they are producing is covering that 30%, or at least a portion of that 30%, right? And that's how you don't go broke. That's how you continue to generate some form of wealth. And it makes me upset that, like I said, this is not stuff that we learned as children. We should have been literally learning this since first grade in the most rudimentary form, right? Not saying that, you know, we have to learn it the way I'm speaking it right now, but we definitely we should have been learning that, but it was designed for us not to learn that. Let me see who's in the building. I'm sorry, y'all. Um, Hey, oh look, child, I don't even know if I could say that without getting you know, a ding from the Godfather that runs this thing. But hey, good to see you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I read that wrong? I sure did. Okay, and I got my glasses on today. Spotless Exterior Services LLC. I thought that said something completely different. Welcome, welcome. Hey, you done changed your name, Humble Mumble 80. So good. Was it, wait, not Dex Devant? Oh my gosh, I forgot your other handle. But it is so good to see you. Yes, and make sure that you treat your money as employees. And the only way you can really do that, just so I'm clear, is if you have to be accountable and take inventory of every dollar that you generate. It would make no sense. It make absolutely no sense for me to tell you to do that without also saying that you have to be intentional with knowing how much you're making and where that money is being deployed, right? Yes, 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 spotless exterior services. Yes, investing is absolutely key. And there's so many different ways to invest. There's, some are riskier than others, so some are safer than others, some are well, that stands to reason. Some are risky, some are safe, some are higher yield, some are not. And so just knowing that there are ways. I don't know why this keeps doing. Oh, you know why? Because I got all these daggone windows open. I'm sorry, y'all. I yes, some are higher yield. Some are higher yield. And you're right. Investing is absolutely the key. Hey, one Heather M. Good to see you. I don't know what the smiley face is for, but I'm glad to see them. Um, Oh, no, no. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I think you could, if you look at your name, you could maybe figure. But yes, I'm so glad I caught that. Um, but the other thing I wanted to share is that there are there are very simple ways to create or have your money work for you, right? And I'm just going to give a real simple one, a real super simple one. And it's something that I've been doing for years, right? Many, many years. I learned this from, some of the peoples that were willing to share, which is why I say all there's some good people out there. Let's just say that want to see us win. You just have to be in the right spaces. You have to be willing to talk. You have to be willing to have conversation with these people, and you know, and do your research, of course, afterwards. But something someone told me many years ago. Living in New York, everybody who ever goes on concert comes to New York. Growing up in New York, and I went to college in DC. Same thing, right? A lot of acts. I went to a HBCU. Every major rap, soul, jazz, go-go um, group was coming to DC. Everything had a ticket price, right? Everything had a price. If you knew, so this is just a easy gem, a easy breezy gem. We're going to get into a couple more things in a second, but this is something anyone can do, and you can apply it to more than just concerts, which is why I'm sharing this, right? It is Financial Literacy Awareness Month, and I want to do at least two more of these basic conversations on how we should be hyper focused on our finances now, right? We know inflation is about to get cray cray. We know gas prices is about to get through the roof. We know um that yeah, we got to be prepared, right? Um but what we don't know is how to, right? And so what I started thinking about it, I'm going to do a whole separate video on this because I added up between last year and I'm going all the way through to, at first it was going to stop at the Roots picnic with Jay-Z, but since he is announcing um, dates in July here in New York, where the tickets are now at Yankee Stadium, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 because the resellers got them, and people are on these social media platforms talking about all the stuff they trying to do to get that money to see that man. So I have my own theory about why all of this is happening and why it's happening now. But let's just say you are this. Oh, so I did a whole list of all the concerts that are targeting our community that have happened since, was it Chris Brown last year? May have started with Usher last year. I don't remember. Up until Jay-Z. And if you would have went to half of those concerts, I think it's half. You would have went to half of those concerts. You'd be and you put those on a credit card because you didn't really have the cash. You would be down 10K easily for good seats, right? For good seats. And if you took, like, let's say I'm the one paying. So if you're the parent who's taking your kids, whatever, you're at least 10K. You're down for good seats, right? And that includes Beyonce, right? But the secret sauce that I've learned now, luckily, I also had a job where many of my concert tickets, when I started working this job for almost 20 years, were comped. So I didn't have to, you know, start paying, but I would gift tickets, right? I would gift tickets to young family members, to older family members. Aretha Franklin coming to town, my mama going to see Aretha Franklin, right? Even if I can't you give her my comp ticket. So saying all that to say, how I never, and I won't say never, how I almost never came out of my pocket uh, was if it was one of those concerts or a sporting event like the World Series, whatever it was, and you knew that those tickets could be sold at a premium. Don't just buy tickets for you and whoever you're taking or whoever you're gifting to. You buy a double set. You buy a double set and you at least sell that next set that you bought, that extra set, at least to cover the first set, right? So if I want two seats at rest in peace, but let's say it's Prince concert. We know Prince is selling out all 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 nights he's at one, he was at one location. So if I want to give someone a pair of tickets to the Prince concert, I'm not just buying a pair. I'm buying two pair. But that extra pair, oh, it's going on StubHub. Wherever I'm going to sell it, I may know somebody who wants it. But if the tickets were $500 a piece, and I'm just throwing this out there, if the tickets were $500 a piece, so I paid $1,000 for those tickets. Oh, I'm selling those other tickets for no less than 2,000. Each one of those tickets will be $1,000 because I have to cover the cost of the extra set and then cover the cost of my tickets, my pair. So I'm at net zero, which is a win because it means I'm going to see a concert for free or I'm gifting this concert for free. Now, this only happens for those tickets that are going to sell out, right? And you want to get them early enough before the prices may start dropping or people start finding deals or something may go wrong with the artists and people are like, like what's going on with TLC and Chili right now. If you would have waited, like if you would have got those tickets and then waited to try to sell those tickets, who knows? You probably would. I don't know. I don't know what's going to go on with that. But saying all that to say, that was taught to me decades ago. This is just simple stuff that they know that they do, but we never really learned. There is almost always a way that you can make back and not go in the hole when you are spending money, right? Same with vacate. It goes across different spectrums or different niches and areas. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to always make sure that if you are doing something that is considered non-essential, right? It's not putting a roof over your head, it's not feeding you. Oh, the last thing I was going to say about that. Now, if you could put a premium on that premium, go ahead and do that too. Cover your popcorn, your drinks, whatever. But at minimum, so you want to, if you want to price it at the double with a little premium. But if you notice things are, not moving and you want to do comps, right? Just like buying a house, you want to check the comps. And if people are not paying that, then you at least are going to cover the cost that you came out of pocket for both pair of tickets. But again, saying all that to say, there are so many ways that you can absolutely stay ahead of the curve, pay attention, not pay, cover inflation as it starts growing. And I might do another video like just with other easy. Well, no, I am going to come back. I forgot this is April. So I have two more videos I want to do with I'm going to do. They're already produced and written. I just have to set the date. But that's just another simple way for you to be strategic and smart. So if you are going to go to these concerts, if you are going to pay this money, even though you may not have it to pay, don't go in the deficit doing it. Now, the other, idea that I have is not idea, but the other thing that I know for sure is that you have to learn how to generate more income, y'all. If your job is not giving it to you, if you are not getting a cost of living increase that is in line with the inflation, then what your salary, it's really going down versus going up. Even though it looks like it may stay the same, or you may get a 2% increase or 1% increase, your salary is technically going down as everything else rises. Everything else that you are going to have to cover, right? So, rather it's your mortgage, rather it's home improvements, rather it's food, electricity, gas, all the things, school, all the things are going to go up, but your salary's really not going proportionately, then that's problematic. And so what do? You find easy ways to make money. And I'm doing this again. Last year we've hosted quite a few um, side communities, and this year, and you'll find it on my post page. Um, this weekend, I'm doing a complimentary webinar that is called "How to Monetize Your Maturity." It is more important now than ever that people over 40, over 50, over 60, over 70 find other streams of income, other ways to make money to offset what's coming, what's here, right? And um, you know, like I said, 2026 is my year of being bold. So being bold is talking my talk. I do this. This is what I do. Like this is what I've been doing. I've worked in media for over 25 years and not at a base level, child. I've worked high level media with some high level people. Like I've learned from the best of the best of the best. And so the fact that I am still hearing so many of us worried. Now, I'm not saying like when lives, yes, there's a sense of anxiety, there's a sense of things that come along with that. But at the end of the day, preparation, preparation is always going to outdo um and I just had it on the tip of my tongue and I forgot y'all, but being prepared is going to win out every time. And while you are sitting here aging, things get more expensive, right? You're going to have to, for many people, not everybody, but for many people, you're going to have to go to the doctor more. You're going to have to buy more things with your health. You may even have to take care of more people. Things get more costly when you get older versus getting less costly, right? And how are we, circumventing that? I know for me, one of the reasons, well, again, I'm not even sure if I am going to keep this, but I started, not coloring my hair for 4 months now, over 4 months because of the toxins, right? I'm trying to, I've been in a mostly heavy detox since the beginning of the year. Very little makeup. When y'all start learning all the nasty stuff that we are putting in ourselves, on ourselves, and we wonder why the numbers in all of these chronic illnesses and terminal illnesses are spiking, it's because we're doing it to ourselves, right? So, I've been listening to some wise people. I've been focused on making smarter moves. And by doing that, it also financially, child, it's been a blessing. Well, I pay for other things now, but I'm not paying right now for the hair color. Again, that may change. We'll see. Again, it's all about being bold. If I decide I want to dye my hair, guess what? I'm gonna dye my hair, but I'm gonna try to find the most or least toxic way to do so. We'll see. We'll see. But saying all that to say, finding a way to figure out how you can now generate additional money, honey. So again, if you have tenants and you're not going up on their rent, go up on their rent. You're gonna need to. If you have any type of service that you provide and you are not charging, you're doing it for free, you're giving away your wisdom for free all the time, start charging. You're going to need to. So I started off talking about, oh man, who the heck is texting? I'm sorry about that. So I started off talking about the Monetize Your Maturity webinar. It's an info session that's taking place Saturday. I have one scheduled for Saturday, one scheduled for Sunday. And if you are available, sign up. You'll learn more about the masterclass, because what I'm tired of hearing are people that have great ideas, but they never get them off the ground. And it happens more to us, meaning older millennials and Gen X and older boomers, than it does with the younger generation. The younger generation is running circles around us. If you are not, I'm on social media now, Instagram now with Kim with the Gems, so I can do more daily conversations, because I do know, based on the times we live in, it's necessary. But I'm, doing a series on monetizing your maturity and showcasing people who are who look like us. Let me see if I could pull it up and show it to you. But go ahead. The link, where's the link? I have a bit.ly as well. It's bit.ly MYM info session. Monetize your maturity info session. So it's bit.ly MYM info session. And again, this info session is free. This is only for maybe 10, 12 people. And I promise you, this price, when I say it's the cheapest I will ever, I hate to say that, it's the least expensive that I will ever be. And I'm doing it simply because of the need. I'm not doing it because I need to do it. I'm doing it because I'm good at doing it. And I want at least 10 people to come along this journey and start making money quick. Start making, or having the knowledge base to start making money quicker than average, just by using whatever your talents and your gifts are. I'm going to pull up just one of the, or maybe two of the videos that I posted this week, because is this, where am I on? Okay, hold on a second, y'all. And I'm gonna say hi to the rest of y'all. So like I said, I have to hide the chat or I will get completely distracted when y'all start saying hi. But if you're not following me on IG, I don't know how long I'm gonna be on TikTok, so I'm not even gonna say follow me there. But if you want to, you can, or Facebook, Kim with the Gems. So let me go ahead and try to share this screen. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, one Heather M. Thank you. Like I said, it's stuff that I just want us to use to get ahead and stay ahead. And again, I'll help when I can, how I can. It is Financial Literacy Month. So again, I am doing this just for this month. And yeah, trying to help as much as I can. So I'm trying to pull up. Okay, here it is. So I'm just going to share I just started this page. And And it's really just to also kind of supplement this YouTube channel, which I don't, I don't come on as often. I may change that. But it has to be like with intention. No, I will change that actually, but everything is with intention, right? I'm not coming on here just for my numbers to go up. So my mature people. Okay, so let me start there. I'm not going to start there. Let's. Okay. I think this one. Okay. For those of y'all, let me see. Okay, yeah, showing. All right. So these are just examples of people doing it over the age that we were told they shouldn't be doing it. Like I always think how our grandparents would be taking advantage of these opportunities based on the wealth of knowledge that they had and being able to flip that into money to take care of their families, to live a little less stress free. And this is what this series is about. It's called Monetize Your Maturity. And I'm going to continue to go like just highlighting people on social media, but I really need to show y'all the steps, the framework on how to do it and how to do it like quick. Like you really don't need all the planning and preparation. So here's just I think was the first video in the series. Yes, Miss Patty. So take a listen. I'll just sitting here getting older and not making money off of it. This series is going to be for you. I like to call it Monetize Your Maturity. And we have plenty of examples to share. So we're going to start off with Miss Patty Roberts, who currently on IG has 185,000 talking about aging. She's a vibrant living advocate defying ageism norms. She's also a healthy living advocate. And if you don't know, becoming an advocate can make you a lot of money real quick, especially if you have the wisdom to back it up. So in this series, we're going to continue to highlight people like Patty Roberts, also known as Task Yourself on social media, to inspire you. And if you need a little motivation, a little extra push, that is my claim to fame. So don't forget to follow, and I'll share more details soon. Some of y'all who got jobs right now, y'all ain't going to have jobs in a minute. Lots more people will be late. So that was a clip from a video I did here on YouTube months ago, damn near a year ago, probably. And it was just to reinforce like the writing's been on the wall. It can't get no clearer. Some of y'all are going to get, stuck behind. I'm trying to help a few. I know I can't help everybody. I'm trying to help a few who want to be helped. And this is one of my ways to do that and give back. And so this is another example of someone else who's just out here doing it. She's in her 60s, y'all, in her 60s, just monetizing her maturity and using her wisdom to get wealthy. Child, it done got cloudy outside. Okay. You don't have a clue what to do to make additional money, and y'all letting this 69-year-old woman run circles around you, that's a problem. Today, we are going to shout out creator Beverly Mahone, who will be 69 in June of this year and is running circles around us. Yes, look at this. 1.4 million followers on IG and a whole host of other followers across other platforms. But she has learned how to monetize her maturity, and she's making a bag, y'all. What does she do? She's a content creator known as Auntie Bev, the vocabulary builder. She says strong communication skills are the keys to your success. And if you need a little help, that's what I'm here for. Go ahead, check the link, register for the wait list for the. So that's Miss Beverly Mahone. Like I said, she's 69 years old. This woman now has a book. She has a cruise that she does where her words matter. She has, outside of the 1.49 million, she is really becoming an influencer in her own right. Kamala Harris invited her out to play. Like her accolades get stronger and stronger. And this is not rocket science. I'm not saying this woman is not bright, But this is something anyone can do if you want to do it. Now, I do believe you need to have a passion for what you do. So, like, my passion is trying to be a motivational mentor, y'all. A financial and motivational mentor. I love doing it. And I love it because I've seen people who have who I have aided and who are in very different places right now. And I know it works because these are formulas that I follow. So let's just see. We'll share a couple.
Welcome back to
No, really, thank you.
Welcome back to another edition of Monetizing Your Maturity. And once again, we have a prime example of someone who's doing just that. She's monetizing her maturity by talking about something that used to be so taboo, menopause, but she's actually going through it. It's authentic. She is an author now, a New York Times best-selling author, but she started off here on social media and now has over 2.2 million followers on IG alone, with millions on other platforms as well. She's the founder of the We Do Not Care Club, which is now trademarked, y'all. And this is all within the year. Your life can truly change if you lock in and if you understand that your wisdom can equal wealth. Melanie Saunders is another example that success can come after 40. I will continue to share examples and tips.
Okay, I think I'll do the series because they're real quick and there's only a couple more. And I do want to need to task yourself. We did Melanie Saunders. Okay.
This man was over.
Let's do this is one of my, I love this man. I just love him because he is bold as I don't know what. And the older you get, the bolder Vinny become. And I just love, 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 love him. And the caption reads, "And you think you're too old to get rich." Fake news, child. Like I said, Melanie Saunders started less than a year ago, and within a year, her life completely catapulted because she locked in. And that's where we tend to fall short, and that's why I call myself the motivational mentor because if y'all look at any of my I'm a lock-in queen. Like, I know how to lock in. I know how to hyper focus, and I know that results, and that's including with my finances. So let's listen to this next example.
70 when he decided to monetize his.
So I started off saying this man was 70 when he decided to monetize his
maturity by saying yes to a television reality show called My 600-Pound Life. He is now over 80 and has amassed a fortune just because he leaned into his wisdom and created wealth opportunities that many of us would have been scared to do. Right now, he's sitting at 1.4 million followers on IG. He has book deals, all the things. He's also a respected surgeon as well. But had he not said yes at the tender age of 71 to a television show, who knows where he would have been? Don't forget to register for the wait list for the monitor.
Okay, let's move on.
In today's episode of How to Monetize Your Maturity, we are featuring Miss Eatin' Good with Freddie Jean, who has leaned into her authenticity by talking about something personal. Growing up, she always had a passion to cook, and watching her mom and grandmom cook Southern style food is the motivation behind her page. Between IG and TT, she has over 500,000 followers, and she is now distributing merchandise that brings in income. She has truly learned how to monetize her maturity. What we really love about Miss Eatin' Good with Freddie Jean is that she keeps her plates simple, no overproduction. The link to our free webinar will go out on April 8th. So one of the most lucrative ways that you can monetize your maturity is through building.
So, oops, let me take this off. One thing I want us to understand is that you don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to overproduce content. You don't even have to do content, but you do have to market yourself in a way that your message gets out there. And just simply put, social media right now is the easiest way to do that. But the most beautiful thing about right now is that this lane is open for anyone who's willing to do the work. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. And so this example right here, the reason I stopped here is because even though the images of the people that I'm showing mostly don't look like us, eat the meat, spit out the bones. Like the content, the topic, the theme, all of that can be transferred, right? These are transferable skills, so to speak. So let's just go ahead and listen to this. And then I think we got one
community. And one of the biggest communities out there are grandparents. You see this number up here, 101,000 followers just by giving tips on grandparenting. More Than Grand is where new grandparents start, right? It says helping new grandparents become the village new parents need. Not only is the community strong of over 101,000, there's also monetization. You click that link, there's stuff that you can buy to help you become a better grandparent. And all you have to do ones listed here. How often do you visit your grandkids? An Easter reminder for grandparents with results that can look like this: 2.4,918,584,000. So if you are a grandparent, know a grandparent, want to be a grandparent, this may just be for you. Hell, I'm about to play like a grandparent. Don't forget to register for our Monetize Your Maturity.
Okay, and I think, yep, this is, no, I have one that.
If the notorious Nana don't make you want to start monetizing your maturity, I don't.
Did y'all hear that? The notorious Nana. Like, listen, y'all, be bold in your aging process. There are not enough of us out here doing it. They're not. They're really not. And but there's opportunity for us out here doing it. So let's do this again. Okay. Notorious Nana.
If the notorious Nana don't make you want to start monetizing your maturity, I don't know what else I can say. This is day 7 of 7 of how to monetize your maturity. And don't forget to register for the Monetize Your Maturity.
Okay, I forgot I had music in this one, but y'all could go to my IG page and see the rest of it.
Where my mature people at?
This was posted today, a little while ago. I think it was scheduled. So let's just look at this one and then we're done.
My mature people who want to learn.
Let's do this again.
Where my mature people at? My mature people who want to learn how to monetize their maturity. The news has been newsing, and if you ever wanted to cover celebrity news, never think you're too old. This right here, during this week's info session on how to monetize your maturity, I'm going to break down just how simple it can be if you wanted to be a celebrity journalist, air quotes, right, at the tender age of 40, 50, 60. Let's just go over a few of the topics that have been jumping off, starting with Trick Daddy versus the AKAs. Her, Chili from TLC. For those of us who love hip hop, Mr. Africa Bambaataa is gone. And when somebody come look at this, they've already had to pump in another $15 million in reshoots right before the Michael Jackson biopic is scheduled to be released. There is so much opportunity out here on these social media streets for people just like you. And we'll go over some examples this weekend. So if you haven't already, sign up for the Monetize Your Maturity info session, where you'll learn a little bit about me. I'll learn a little bit about you, and we'll figure out if the Monetize Your Maturity Masterclass is a good fit for you. Where are my mature people at?
So again, like I said, this is truly opportunities for everybody. There's no reason that we should not have our plans in place to find quick ways to generate income, right? There's a whole bunch of people, and I shared this over a year and a half ago with one of my 28-day accountability students, and she started taking up political news as it relates to us. The first 30 days, I think I shared this before, she made 10,000. Her numbers are through the roof. She's doing trending conversations, right? Trending topics, things that people, want to hear about. The only thing she had a problem with was hyper-focusing and staying committed and helping bounce ideas, right? Bounce ideas off of someone who really wanted to see them win. So with all that being said, these are the examples that I wanted to share tonight. I do have an 8 o'clock, but I want everyone to start looking at your money, your input, your income as employees. And they have to produce, just like you have to produce as an employee. But how are they producing for you? Reevaluate that. Educate yourself on that. Ask for help if you don't know how to research or where to go. a closed mouth never gets fed. Never. My mother, one of her favorite lines to me, like, "Child, open your mouth, open your mouth, ask," right? And so that's number one. Number two, find simple ways that you can make your money work for you, right? If you're gonna put money out to go to a concert, yeah, how can we make that work? So I'm not really putting money out, and I may be bringing money in, but I'm at least not losing, right? And then also, what is it that you have? What talent do you have that you can lean into and start? I had this whole impromptu conversation. I was out today. This man I ran into didn't know him from a can of paint. Child, I ended up getting him to start monetizing. He's a whole photographer, but stopped doing it because he retired. He started helping babysit his grandchildren, this and that. He loves photography and he also loves cycling. He used to ride his bike 75 miles every weekend. He stopped doing that. Oh, guess what? Not no more. And he's a legit photographer. Like, he does weddings, and he bought a whole $2,000 new setup and has not used it because he became this grandparent. Yeah, well, guess what? You're going to find more time in the day. You're going to find a way to get your message out there to the right people so that you can live on purpose, but also monetize the gifts. It is blasphemous for God to bestow gifts on you. And you, whatever you call God, I really don't argue about that. But for God to bestow gifts upon you and you're sitting and hoarding them, that's what keeps me motivated and keeps going, because I'm like, there's no way he finds favor in that. There's no way he'll keep blessing me if I'm sitting here with my mouth tied, zipped up. So I want the same for all of y'all. Again, this channel is about being bold now. It's about taking action now. It's not so much about, what's going, the actual news. Yes, we'll talk about the news, but the only thing that's going to get us through is movement, action, period, exclamation point, and being bold, right? Listen, being extremely bold, talking our talk and being okay with it. There's going to be people who like it, people who don't, but we're here to like thrive, not just survive. And so with that being said, I have 1 minute before my class starts. I'll be back in a couple days, this weekend maybe, to do the other part, like the other conversation that I wanted to have. But if you haven't, joined the Gym Nation family, just go ahead, subscribe to the channel. You're part of the Gym Nation family. And like I said, I'll be here more regularly. I just need to get my schedule together. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, everyone. And I will see you on the next live. Take care. Bye.